Sped 2010 students. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm making this video for week 3. So we're still in module 2, and this week we're working in week 3. Now remember, each module is 5 weeks long. So we're in week 3, and this week we're really going to be talking about IDEA. Okay, now remember, IDEA stands for Individuals Disability Education Act. So not only are we going to be looking at IDEA, but we're going to look at those major provisions of IDEA. And I also want to talk a little bit this week about Section 504 plan and what that means. So we're going to start here just to remind you that all of this section up here at the top, all of this is really going to be your learning resource activities. This is really going to help you engage and develop a deeper understanding of the content. At the bottom where it says assignments, these are things that you will be turning into me. So one of the assignments you have this week is you're going to be doing a discussion. And you will also be completing a note sheet about IDEA. Okay, we also have some review games to give you that feedback that we talked about that you need to have. And that's just going to allow you to quiz yourself on the content to make sure you have a thorough understanding. So let's go back up here to the overview and kind of walk through what we're going to be doing this week. So our goals this week is really to be able to identify those 6 core principles of IDEA. We want to make sure we know the provisions of IDEA. And I want you to look at the laws. You should be able to identify the laws that impact students who have disabilities. I want us to learn a little bit about legislation and litigation that have affected special ed, and then we're going to understand and really go back to that appreciating the history, because we're going to bring some of that week 2 into this week as well. So these learning objectives are really going to meet our course outcomes, okay? The course outcomes that we have for our course are listed up here. As always, you have some learning tasks in reading. So you're going to be reading out of both textbooks. So you'll be reading out of the Exceptional Learners textbook. You're going to read chapter 1. And then I also want you to read chapter 5 in A Teacher's Guide to Special Education. I went ahead and put the link here. So when you click on it, it'll open a new window. And you're just going to be reading chapter 5. You're also going to be watching some videos about IDEA. They're really short and talking a little bit more about it. And then you're going to have a chance to review and compare IDEA with 504 and their differences. For assignments, of course, I already discussed, you will be doing the discussion board, and then you will be, first you will be watching the video called Child Outcomes Step by Step, and with that video, you will be able to complete the discussion board. And then you will complete the 6 principles of IDEA note sheet. Now this is really important because this is something I'll be testing you on, the IDEA note sheet. So this is something that I do want you to complete. Now as far as assessing, this week I'm going to be assessing you through your discussion board. And then another way that you will be assessed is with that feedback from those games that I provide you. Okay, so you'll have a speed matching game, a Quizlet game to match all the laws to the description. And remember, you'll also have a Quizlet on those major provisions of IDEA. Now, as far as keywords and concepts, I went ahead and put them here, which was the 6 principles of IDEA, the major provisions of IDEA, what No Child Left Behind Act is, Every Student Succeeds Act, and Section 504. So these are things that you need to know that you will be tested on. So make sure you know those core concepts and keywords. Okay, I do have a Nearpod lesson for you. This is just like what we did in week 1. You should just be able to click on it, type your name in, it'll take you right to my Nearpod lesson so you can access it. There is also a link here below. So this Nearpod lesson is really going to allow you to go through the PowerPoint, but also have some quiz and discussion questions within the PowerPoint itself. Okay, so the reading from the textbook, I want you to read that, which we already discussed. Okay, you're going to watch this video, 40 years later, IDEA. And this video really is neat because it comes from the American Institute for Research. This is a really good video. There's the transcript for the video. There's another video about Samuel Measles, which talks about the Part B of IDEA, and then he also goes in to talk about the Part C. So this is very important because I do ask you on the quiz, the first quiz, about Part B and Part C of IDEA because you need to know those parts. So make sure you watch the video. I also provided you with a transcript for that video. Okay. Now, these are really great resources for you. The Tennessee Early Intervention System brochure. This is really something that was developed to assist those who have developmental disabilities. And when we're talking about earlier intervention, this is really marked toward early childhood, but this brochure is really neat. I really want you to look at that and go through that. Okay. As you'll see, there's always a questions about the course. You can go ahead and put them in here. I look at this, but what I would love you to do is really, if you email me, I'll look at that every day. This I'll check every few days. So if you have a question and you need an answer in a hurry, I would suggest emailing me. Okay, then we're going to get into assignments. So like I said, you're going to be watching a video called Child Outcomes Step by Step. So once you watch this video, you're going to complete the discussion board. Okay, so here's the discussion board. This link will take you to the discussion board. Okay, this is actually transcript, for the discussion board. Transcript for the video, Then the next link is actually the discussion board itself. So first you have the video, then I showed you the transcript. The next one is going to be the actual discussion board itself. So within the discussion board, after watching the video, I really want you to answer these two questions. So the first question is really letting me see your understanding, your grasp of, what are the 3 child outcomes adopted by OESP? And remember, we're looking at those reported by Part C and Preschool Special Education and Part B, Section 619. And then the second question I want you to answer is what functioning is necessary for each child to be active and successful participant at home? And think about their community, in their places, in child care settings, or even in preschool settings. So after you do your post, your discussion board post, I want you to respond to at least 2 other classmates' discussion posts. Okay, now this assignment is worth 10 points. There is a rubric here for you, so you can see how I'm going to be grading you. And the last thing I want you to do is complete the IDEA note sheet. I do want you to see, I did put a note in here. This is not to be turned in. The reason I'm encouraging you to do this is because this is a good study guide, because I will be asking you questions on the test or the quiz about this. So be sure that you complete this note sheet as well. When you click on it, it will open in a new window. And I'll pull it up here so you can see it. Okay. So it just goes over the 6 principles of IDEA. It talks about the IDEA as terms of Part B, Part C. It goes into the TEIS, which was that brochure I talked about. And make sure that you use that brochure to help you fill this out as well. Okay, so those are going to be the things that you complete. Okay, guys, so that's what you're going to be doing for week 3. The quiz games are there. I have matching laws to description. Remember, we're carrying over because we don't want you to forget about those matching laws because we are learning about laws with IDEA this week. But we also have a quizlet for those major provisions of IDEA, which is also important. So make sure you do that for feedback as well. The other feedback that you'll get is within the Nearpod presentation itself. I have included some questions or discussions in there as well. Alright guys, that's it. If you need anything or if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And don't forget that you should have this past Sunday, so yesterday was when your liability insurance was due. So if you have any questions about service learning, I'm still in the process of doing my paperwork. I have several people who are ready to go. We're in the process. As soon as I get the okay, I will email you. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.